Wait a second. This isn't your grandma's cancer show.
Not Your Grandma's Cancer Show.
Hi, this is Not Your Grandma's Cancer Show. I'm Tatum Durock, and today we're talking about a smorgasbord of support, a plethora of panelists, an array of activities. We are talking about Shine Connect. It is the largest convention for young adults with cancer in the country, and I have with me today one of the minds who dreamed this up, Kynwyn Giles, and I also have Eleanor Tuckey with me, who is going to be going to her very first Shine Connect. So we're going to find out why she's joining us online for this virtual conference. Kynwyn, how are you doing this morning?
Hi, I'm good. Very excited.
Yeah. So tell me about Shine Connect.
Sure. So Shine Connect is, it's like you said, it's a conference. We started off as a one-day conference in London about 6 years ago. And obviously COVID has meant we had to pivot. So last year we did it online, and this year with all the uncertainty, we decided to do it online again. But actually that's given us a lot more flexibility, and it's kind of gone from a one-day in-person event to like a 6-day festival of topics and ideas and speakers. We're just hoping, this year that we can kind of let more people than ever come along and dip into topics that are of interest, and learn a little bit and meet other people as well.
Lovely. And I think that's the thing, like going back to this really old saying about cancer, like cancer's the club that you never wanted to be part of. Mm-hmm. And, it's such a cliche, but actually there's something in there about, normally a club is built up of like-minded people, or, they share a passion or an idea or something. But cancer brings us all together from all different backgrounds, all different identities, all different interests. And there's something really powerful about being able to have an event like this that really celebrates, our differences, and being able to drop into the things that appeal specifically to us. Is that some of the feedback that you've had about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So like you said, it is a club nobody wants to join. But I guess when we started Shine and when we started running the conference, we thought, okay, well, you don't get a choice about whether you're in the club or not, but you do have a choice about whether you have a good time while you're there. And obviously cancer isn't fun, but we always want to make our events as fun as they can be, given the topics, and as interesting as possible too. So, this year we've got a huge range of topics, like everything from, we've got dating after cancer, sex after cancer. We've got a session with Gamers Beat Cancer, which is going to be an online gaming session. So if you're into that, you can come along. But we've also been talking to members of our community about different issues. So we've got a special session for the LGBTQ plus community, who are going to come together and talk about queer, whether we can kind of make the cancer experience more queer friendly. And I know, Tatum, you'll be helping us with that one.
I will be.
But we've also got a session for members of our community who are from a Black or Asian background, or people of color, who can come together and have their own session and talk about what cancer's been like for them. Obviously, whether you're queer or from an ethnic background, you're welcome to join any session. And one of the things we really try with Shine, we kind of strive to be open to anybody. So regardless of, gender, sexual orientation, ethnic background, religion, we want the sessions to be open for everyone. But we've also got, some more sciencey stuff. So we've got a session about understanding clinical trials and whether that might be something that's right for you, as well as an amazing keynote speaker who's going to be talking about genomic medicine and how we can, make sure that we're all getting the best treatment for our personal circumstances.
Wow. That sounds incredible. So it really kind of, it ticks so many boxes, doesn't it? And so how many different events are going on this year?
Oh my goodness. I think so. Bearing in mind when we did this in person, we had kind of, I don't know, 12 different sessions and some of them were parallel. This year, we've got, I think, 27 or 28 different sessions. And I guess we tried to pull them from different areas, right? So if you want to come along for the social stuff, you can do that. We've got a men only session. So, if you were a guy that wanted to talk to some other guys that got cancer, you can come along for that social session. We've also got a poetry session and a breathwork session and a self-compassion session. So some of the kind of more gentle social side of things we can do. You can do the science bit, so the clinical trials, the genomic medicine. And then you can also delve into some tougher topics. So we're actually looking at how can we have a good death? And I know that's a tricky topic, but actually, whether you've got cancer or not, we're all going to die. And we're going to be running that with an organization that says compassion. It's called Compassion in Dying. And one of the things they're really very much about, actually, is kind of sorting out your wishes for the end of your life so you can get on with the business of living and living well. And it's kind of like, once you've written it down and ticked the boxes, you don't have to think about it anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we've got dance, we've got skincare, we've got honestly a little bit of everything.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm very excited. I will be there running a few of the sessions. The menopause session, which is, will be a myth busting about menopause because there's so many misconceptions about it. So yes, for some people that's not on their radar, but for other people it can be a really big part of what they're going through. And it's so nice for people to be able to dip in.
Absolutely.
And so, Eleanor, hi.
Hello.
You're going through treatment at the moment. Can you tell me a little bit about what was going on in your life when you were diagnosed?
So I had just been made redundant after a 10-year career. So I eventually wasn't very, I was less stressed. So I thought, right, I can go to the GP, I can actually get things sorted. At which point I was then diagnosed, which, funnily enough, I had to cancel a few interviews because I was just at that point where I'd had a couple of weeks job hunting, and then it all kind of went a bit crazy. So for the last 6 months, I've been, well, less than 6 months, but I've been a professional patient in a way. But I'm coming to the end of, so I've had surgery, I've come to the end of chemo for breast cancer, and then I've got radiotherapy to go. But it's sort of now, hopefully in the new year, I will be back job hunting with a vengeance and raring to go.
I love that expression, professional patient. I wish that I had used that when people were asking me what I was doing. I remember, I think it was a Fergie line. I was like, I'm working on my fitness. But that wasn't as accurate as being a professional patient, because it's a full-time and then some job. And so how's it been for you? Because I know, because I've met you on Shine's breakout program. How has it been for you meeting other people with cancer, especially during this time of COVID?
Oh my goodness, the Shine Breakout program has made such a difference. I think, so I'm quite a proactive person. I've tried, obviously this year has been another COVID wonderful different year. Mm-hmm. And just as things come out of lockdown, you're the last person staying in it when you get a diagnosis, when everything else is opening up. So you kind of see everybody else going out and about and going, yeah, my life hasn't really changed from 2020 in some ways. Mm-hmm. But I would walk onto the chemo ward and just see everybody else at least 20 years older than me. I joined a walk, which is I've got a fabulous breast centre, and they do monthly walks, and thought, great, I'm post-surgery, I'm feeling a little bit better, go for a nice walk around Cardiff Bay. And again, it was like I couldn't relate to so many other people because they were at such a different stage,
Yeah.
not only of the cancer treatment, because most of them had had their surgery and chemo and active treatment had finished maybe a year or so previously, but again, age-wise, they were at a completely different stage of life. You know, I was there going through fertility treatment and they were talking about their grandchildren.
Yes.
So to just see people who look like me, who come from all different backgrounds, it was, when on paper I looked at you'd look at the people who were in the Shine breakout group and think the only thing we've got in similarity is cancer, but actually that's kind of such a common bond, and you find looking at things in the same way as them, and just realizing, oh, this isn't just me. I'm not mad to feel the way I'm doing. And seeing the peer support element it's made a world of difference. And my attitude has very much changed because of it.
That is so wonderful to hear, and I can completely see that. I mean, what you were talking about, infertility, and they're talking about their grandchildren, that is such a massive, different parts of life and all the things that come with that. And what you were saying about looking for a job is very different when someone's post-retirement. And I'm so glad that you found Shine, and I'm so glad that you've, been able to know that you're not mad. We all have a little, little something, just to keep us interesting. But yeah, that actually there is, and as much as we all come from different places, there is sometimes this commonality that ends up bringing us together and being able to support each other in ways sometimes that no one else can. And so are you planning on attending Shine Connect?
I am. I'm actually really glad that you're doing it online, because it will be it'll be the weekend of kind of after treatment, and that's when the effects hit. So I may be in my pajamas, I may not be feeling as I normally would, but it's also my last chemo, so I will be definitely in a good mood. It's the choice of looking through the sessions, going, right, what am I actually going to attend? Because there's a lot of variety on there, and some of them I think I would definitely look at it for different stages. Yeah. So I'm already thinking, this isn't right for me this year, but hopefully next year. Which, if you do in person, I might be able to travel to London and not be scared of everything and not having to risk assess everything in the same way. Because it's, to go and actually go to an event, the risk assessments, even to go and have a coffee in a coffee shop, the little mental risk assessments that I'm running all the time to kind of go, right, how can I make this as safe as possible for me?
And it's exhausting on top of already having, treatment and fatigue and, your brain is running all these sort of diagrams of possibilities.
The sessions are planned, and there's times and there's little breaks in between. So you can dip in and out and go, okay, well, that's the time when I'll have a little bit of lunch, a little bit of coffee. And if it's in person, the way you say, you kind of feel, oh, if I don't go to every session, I'm not making the most out of it.
Right.
But I'd also feel exhausted. Whereas with it being online, I feel a lot more flexibility to pick and choose what's most relevant to me at the time.
Brilliant. And can you tell us 3 ones that you've that you're interested in, intrigued by, or registered for?
Yeah, so I've registered for quite a few, but so one of the ones I'm looking forward to is certainly the social aspect, where it's having a glass of wine with the Shine drinks and chats with the Shine team. Hey. Because I haven't had drinks and chats with anybody in a long time. I mean, we'll have to see how I'm feeling post chemo as to whether it's Diet Coke or something a little bit more exciting. Even because with the real world opening back up, my friends are all meeting in person now and going out and having drinks. So Zoom drinks is finished, unless you're in this cancer bubble. And so that to me is kind of this social event of the calendar. I'm also, I know, so my mother has CLL, so I know how difficult finding travel insurance can be. So the understanding travel insurance after cancer, even though I'm not planning on going anywhere immediately, I think that's going to be a really, really invaluable and interesting one. Because I know several people with health concerns who struggle to get travel insurance, and I think the world that we're in, travel insurance is going to play a much more key part.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the other session that I'm really, really excited about, so going through this experience, to me, I pick up so many little things that are such simple bits, but you want to give that feedback somewhere and how it can make things better for the next person. So I'm already active in a few groups online, and you see group chats, and that was the nice thing about the peer support element, is you pick up better tips and hints from people who are going through this than from the doctors and from the initial paper, from so much of the stuff that's out there. This is a great scalp conditioner for me kind of tip, so I'm really looking forward to the want to use your cancer experience for good, working as a patient expert in charities and healthcare. Excellent. Because job hunting, but also trying to channel that, and sort of there's one or two little things that would make the experience so much better, and if you can channel that and make it better for the next person, then I think that's a great way. So knowing how to go about that, and if I can incorporate into my job search, my last experience, my last year of job experience is slightly different to what I was expecting to have on my CV.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much, Eleanor. I look forward to seeing you at the conference. Thank you so much for joining us today. And Kynwyn, can you tell us, if someone's listening to this right now, been listening to Eleanor and is like, yes, this is sounding amazing, I'm going to check this out. Do they have to pay? How do they come along? What's the deal?
So I should have said it is a free conference this year. Obviously, people have the opportunity to donate if they would like to help us keep going, but it is free online. All of the sessions are free. You can, if you go to the shinecancersupport.org website, so our website, we've got a banner across the front page. You just click on that. It'll take you through to the registration page. And I just also wanted to say, Eleanor touched on a few issues like fertility, and also fatigue. And we've got sessions on both of those. And also in terms of kind of dipping in and dipping out, all of the sessions are an hour long. So they're not huge sessions. You can have them on while you're at home in your pajamas with your Diet Coke. And also a lot of them, like the vast majority of them, are patient-led. So the ideas for the sessions came from our community. But we've also, in most cases, a lot of the people that are running the sessions have been through cancer themselves. And I think that's really important, because it means that they're not only kind of an expert on the topic, but also that they have personal experience and they can bring that too. So but it's free. You join online, and it's the 13th to the 18th of November. We've got a big weekend, the 13th and 14th of November, with a lot of different sessions, but they will be available on catch up as well. So if you register now and then, you're not feeling well, or you're tired, or something comes up, for most of them, we're going to try and record them, and they'll be available on YouTube later as well.
Lovely. Kynwyn, give me the website again.
It is shinecancersupport.org.
Amazing. So I look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we'll have some more Not Your Grandma's Cancer Show coming up soon. See you then.